world's wildest.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. You're probably so confused because we've never done an episode outside of our set.
No.
Correct?
No. We were supposed to do a cave, but they never got back to me.
We were supposed to do a cave, but this is our first traveling episode, and we are outside. We are not in Texas, though.
No.
We are in Missouri.
Oh,
We are
so
at
nice.
World Bird Sanctuary
Yes!
today, everybody. And we have a special guest.
Hello.
This is also our first in-person, I'm lying. This is not our first in-person guest. This is our second in-person guest.
Yes.
Second in-person guest.
Awesome.
We have Kelsey here. Do you want to introduce yourself and say what you do here?
Absolutely. My name is Kelsey. I'm the Director of Education here at World Bird Sanctuary. So I'm in charge of our education department. I also dabble in marketing and whatever else they need me to do here. So lots of hats and a nonprofit.
Awesome. And what is World Bird Sanctuary? Some of them have seen it, but for those of them that haven't.
So we are a nonprofit based in St. Louis, Missouri, and we started as a rehab place to take wild raptors when they get injured in the wild. We have grown from that and we've expanded to do education. We do conservation programs where we can release birds back into the wild, and then we are still doing the rehab component of it as well. So we have grown a lot, and the whole purpose for World Bird Sanctuary is just to preserve birds and their habitats through our 3 programs of conservation, education, and rehabilitation.
You guys do it
Awesome.
very well, and it's ramping up a lot too. What
Yes.
I've seen, I love the direction you guys are going. Yeah, and this will be our first animal,
This
live
will be
animal.
our first podcast episode where there are some live birds featured. And I heard some quacking from afar, and I know that quacking because we have been here before. And I cannot believe you guys are bringing this bird out on this podcast.
It's so crazy.
That is so crazy.
It is one of the world's wildest birds of prey. out
Actually,
there.
have we ever talked about
No.
spoilers?
Yes.
Have we?
Yeah. Briefly.
Surely.
Yeah.
You can't
my
not
God.
talk about the world's wildest.
Hello.
Kelsey, who is this?
So this is Alejandro, and you may know, if you've watched our stream here before, Alejandro is a harpy eagle. He's going to tell his story for us, actually.
He's such a good boy.
So Alejandro is one of the only harpy eagles that actually will come out on the glove for programming. We love him here. He is one of the sweetest birds, I think, that we work with, especially as a large eagle. Lots of eagles are really sassy. Alejandro is a gentleman. But Alejandro is here for education. So he started in a breeding program, but Alejandro seems to prefer his trainers over the other birds. He doesn't quite understand what a breeding program means and what he's supposed to help do for his species there. So instead he does education like this, and he will come out and help us teach people about harpy eagles. Do you guys know where harpy eagles are found in the world?
Can you tell us all about him?
Yeah.
I'm just staring at him.
He's
You guys just stare, I'll talk, sure. So harpy eagles are found in South America. They are a rainforest species. So he would be, high up in a tree. They make huge nests, kind of like bald eagles do. We think of bald eagles, building their nests year
Right.
after year, making giant nests. Harpy eagles will do the same thing. If you're looking at him, you see he's got that dark coloration on top. If he spins around at any point, you'll see that underneath of him is bright white. So just like any large bird of prey, really, they're going to have that shading so that when you look down, they're dark. When things look up, they're light, because he's going to be hunting in the rainforest.
monkeys, right?
Monkeys,
Which is
Crazy.
insane.
sloths, pretty much
Poor sloth.
anything he can find. He's got these lovely vocalizations, and you can see his face now. He's got really dark eyes. So something that we have found in lots of birds of prey, a lot of times the darker the eye, the lower light they're going to be looking for their food in. So because these are rainforest species, the lighting is going to be much more dim than it might be normally. Usually we think of hawks and bald eagles being active during the day, and he is, but he's in a low light area. So he's got those darker eyes.
And how much does this bird weigh?
Great question. So if you're looking at him, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. What would you guess? I know you've handled birds before, so you might have a better.
Maya, go first. We both handled Alejandro before.
Yes.
Held him.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
He looks huge, right?
Yeah. 5 pounds.
He's more than 5 pounds.
10 to 12.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think last year we said around 12 or so is usually what it fluctuates. So if
He's
it's
a
winter
dense
time, he might put on a little more weight. When it's summer, he might be a little slimmer. But yeah, about 12 pounds. And for a male, 12 pounds is average to small. Females can be like 20 pounds.
Jesus.
So much larger.
Which is like close to 10 kilograms. What's 20 pounds in kilograms? Can't do
I
that
do
math.
not know the
Oh yes,
conversion.
we always have to do the conversion because we
Yeah.
have viewers from all over the place.
Editor, put in the conversions.
Yes.
Please on screen.
Well, and when we weigh birds, we're not weighing in pounds
Right.
either.
you
So
do grams.
Yeah.
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 That's so cool. So wingspan, is he more or less than 6 foot?
That's a great question. So since he is in more of a dense rainforest, he's
True.
going to have a shorter wingspan than you
Okay.
might expect. I would say probably like 5 feet or so for his
Okay.
wingspan. He
1
has to be
Maya.
able to kind of get in between the trees when he's flying around. 1 Maya.
We
Yeah.
do. We measure in Mayas.
Perfect.
Like
Yeah.
5 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 Maya. If you look at his face too, you'll notice that his face is kind of similar to a lot of owls. Those feathers he can kind of fluff up to make like a disc almost to kind of funnel that noise to his ears. Since he's in a low light situation, he has to see really well, but he also does use hearing to find his food too, which is really interesting because usually we just think of owls hunting by hearing, but
Right.
harpy eagles do as well.
How are harpy eagles doing in the wild? What threats are they facing right now?
So the biggest problem for harpy eagles is deforestation, and a lot of the food sources that they eat are actually endangered as well. So they eat lots of
Oh.
mammals,
Yeah.
and because they go back to the same nest year after year, they stay in the same nest, they build it bigger and bigger. I was actually just reading a study that's really interesting. They noticed the areas right underneath that nest, because there's so much food that they bring back to it, the plants are doing like much better than other places in the rainforest because there's so many nutrients they're just like splashing out of the nest, if you
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
as they're feeding their young. But deforestation is huge. I mean, the
Right.
rainforest gets cut down for all kinds of stuff, whether it's for coffee or just logging. As people
Palm
expand,
oil.
palm oil, exactly, are all things that are going to impact the harpy eagle. And the harpy eagle is considered an umbrella species. And what that means is just if there's a species that you can focus on saving, like the harpy eagle, it's not only going to help the harpy eagle survive, but it will also help the other animals that live in the same community. So if you are preserving the habitat for a harpy eagle, you're also preserving the habitat for those monkeys and sloths and other things that are going to be living in the same areas. So it's a perfect species to focus conservation efforts for, because not only does it help this incredible bird, but it helps the rest of the ecosystem too. Yeah, exactly.
What is your favorite thing about him personally?
I think his demeanor is just perfect.
Yeah.
He is just so sweet.
He's so cute.
Because he really enjoys being around his trainers.
Yeah.
When you're working with large birds, obviously you need to make sure that you are safe. Like you can see his giant talons.
Right.
Kendall has this nice leather glove to handle him with. And you might think, wow, that's a really dangerous animal, and they can be. But his demeanor is just so sweet. And a lot of times, you know, he actually likes to preen his trainers. He'll like reach over and fix your hair for you. So he's a very, very nice, lovely ambassador to work with.
When did you meet him for the first time?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, 3. I've been here a few times doing some IT work for these guys.
And
for
was this the
Wilbur.
first harpy you met?
Yes. Oh, I mean, I've seen him at like San Diego Zoo and stuff like that.
But
so.
yeah, like in an enclosure. But the
Yeah.
first one you've like.
On the glove.
Yeah,
met.
definitely. I've only before at the American Eagle Foundation, I only handled native species.
Right.
So I guess we did an African pied crow, but that was the only non-native that I worked with. So Alejandro, it's crazy to me because all the birds at American Eagle Foundation came from like a rehab situation, so they're way more nervous. Alejandro, Daniel, his title is Assistant Executive Director,
Yes.
correct? Was like, here, he's super sweet. You can hold him.
He is so sweet.
And there's like permitting requirements. I was also like, wow, like natives, you need like a lot of permitting requirements. Non-natives, it's a little bit more chill. But just him trusting a huge bird onto me with all of his trainers around, obviously, just shows how well trained and his demeanor.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely beautiful. And I was worried, like the helix. I mean, how big is that helix?
Yeah, that's like the size of a
Alex, sorry.
grizzly bear claw.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
It's like 3-4 inches.
Yeah,
Massive.
absolutely.
Huge.
Can you define that for them?
3-4 inches.
No.
Oh. What, the helix?
Yes.
Is it helix or halix?
Yeah.
I say it either way.
Yeah.
There's like niche and niche. Anyway, that's where I guess like the killing blow. It's the back talon that we're looking at on the stump. Maybe the editor can zoom
Yeah.
in here.
He's
show
got kind of like, 3 forward
roll.
and 1 back, if you will.
But that's what they use to make that killing blow on the monkeys, right? And that's where you see the monkey skulls with a huge piercing mark through it. And it's that massive talon, which is so cool. Which Kendall wearing the glove, which 2 layers of leather? 3.
Three, yeah.
He could still get through that if he really wanted to. So that was always crazy to me. And then I want to ask like a husbandry question, because his beak and talons are so beautiful. How do you guys do that? There's no buildup. It's shined so well. Are you guys helping him with that, or is that all natural?
We do offer like we do Dremel. We'll make sure that we're making their nails nice. We'll make sure that their beaks don't get too long. But we also have lots of enrichment that they can wear things down naturally. If a beak were to get too long, we'll make sure that it isn't impacting the way that they eat. I don't know for him specifically. Do we have to do him very often?
Not very often.
Yeah, we don't really have to
Sticks a lot.
do much on him. Yeah, he loves sticks.
Okay.
When he is in his aviary hanging out, he is constantly playing with sticks. It's one of his favorite things in the whole wide world. So he does naturally wear that down pretty well.
He does such a good job. It's so beautiful. And just working with other raptors, I mean, that's the first thing I look at is the beak and the talons. And
Absolutely.
It's polished and beautiful. So good job, Alejandro. Good job.
And then what kinds of enrichment besides sticks does he like?
That's a great question. He likes people.
Yes.
I mean, that is a huge form of enrichment for
places,
him.
new things.
And really for him, because he's an ambassador that travels on the glove, he gets to go visit a lot of places.
Yeah.
And that's very enriching for him.
Cool.
We also will have like Kong toys, like you would think of with a dog. A lot of our birds will get different types of enrichment that way too. For him, sticks, he loves sticks, and really just his trainers and getting out and seeing the world. You can see he's just so inquisitive too.
That's great. So to kind of like wrap up, because I know we have a few other ambassadors coming out, what are like some like 2 key takeaways that people should learn from this part of the episode for Alejandro, and like how to like protect him in the wild? And I'm thinking on the lines of like palm oil and stuff like that.
Yeah, so if you are just aware of what is going on in the rainforest, it'd be really helpful. So like palm oil, for example, you can go to the store and buy things that use sustainable palm oil, and I know there's some kind of like, just do your research on that. There's a lot of like, you can go no palm oil, but if we completely eliminate palm oil, there could be something else that pops up. So just do your research, make sure that when you're looking at things, palm oil is in basically everything. So it's really hard to find palm oil free. But when you have birds like this that rely on the rainforest, and they do not do well in fragmented habitats, they need the full rainforest to be intact. It's really important for us to make sure we're gonna poop nice.
Yay, podcast poop.
Well
Our first
done.
podcast poop.
Splash zone.
Massive.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how he feels about palm oil.
Yeah.
Fair.
So just making sure that we're aware of what's going on in the ecosystem. Like I said, for a species like this, as an umbrella species, we can help conserve harpy eagles that protects more than just harpy eagles in the rainforest. So when you are shopping, make sure that you are looking at things that are sustainably harvested palm oil or no palm oil. There's a lot to look at when you're in stores, but being aware of things like that would be really helpful.
Maya, what's the label?
RSPO certified, Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil. You can look for. We'll superimpose that label
Perfect.
on screen.
So last question. If people want to come see Alejandro, how can they do that?
Great question. So Alejandro does live behind the scenes because he does so much outreach with us. We do have an Adopt-A-Bird program though, and part of the Adopt-A-Bird program, if you're at that highest tier, does include a meet and greet and photo op with Alejandro.
Wow.
So that's a really cool way to see him. We're excited about the Adopt-A-Bird. He said do it. The Adopt-A-Birds symbolically obviously support our birds here, so it's a great way to meet him up close. We also do all about eagle programs, and he is occasionally one of the eagles in there. We try to do like 3 different species of eagles. And then we do have a World Eagle Day event out here.
Okay.
And we bring him out, of course, for the shows and photo ops
Awesome.
for that.
We'll put that link to the Adopt in the
Absolutely.
description. So. Awesome. Yeah. Check it out, guys.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're going to have another guest coming out here shortly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
for bringing him out.
Great job, Alejandro.
You did do great.
Amazing.
Yeah,
He's so cool.
He's so
He
cool.
is.
That was awesome.
Love
So
him
we
so
have a couple more bird guests coming out today. I keep wanting to say chat because I'm
You
so
can.
ready. We're gonna stream here today too. But let us know what you guys think about that in the comments, and make sure to check out the links in the description, especially today. We'll put specifically. Are there Adopt-A-Birds for the birds that we're meeting today, or just him?
There are several that are adopted
Cool.
birds. We actually are about to redo the adopted bird page too. So
Yeah.
there are some birds up right now that will not be adopted
Okay.
options. We're hoping to get that in the next couple months
Yeah.
up and running.
Okay.
We have shifted to some more of our ambassador species so that we can do
Yeah.
the photo op. Some of our birds live behind the scenes or in their aviaries and they don't come out on the glove.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that if you're doing a photo op, we can have a bird that's comfortable on the glove.
Right.
We don't force our birds to do anything they don't want to do.
Right.
Some of them don't like doing glove things, so we don't make them do
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Well, for the ones that are applicable, then we'll put those specific links in the description so you guys can see them.
Perfect.
And this is a special facility. Alveus, I know you guys can't visit in person, but this one you can.
can.
So you could come here. You could make a trip out of it. It is beautiful out here.
There's so much to do.
As you guys can tell. Yeah.
You've got the Elk Park right
Lone
here.
Elk Park right
Lone-
next door.
which has elk and bison, right?
Yes.
So cool.
The zoo is amazing as
Yeah.
well.
The zoo is incredible. The Endangered Wolf Center is just down the road.
Can they get tours for that?
Yes, you do have to book tours in advance for the
Okay.
Endangered Wolf Center. I believe they don't do tours on Tuesdays, but most other days of the week they do. But I mean, we're open
Yeah.
8 to 5 p.m. every day except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So,
So
come on
cool.
out and see us.
That's awesome.
you guys
set
can
up-
actually meet these birds,
Yes.
like in person,
You
and
can
see
sign
this
up for
facility in person.
tours. You can sign up for. We do a handle an exotic raptor program, where we have one of our smaller owls, and we'll actually put a glove
Oh,
on
that's
guests that come
awesome.
out, and you can hold a bird.
Love that. We have our next podcast guest coming out. Our next co-host.
I
Taking a
am-
bow before the podcast.
Lindsay at Alveus has worked with Duncan before. She was
Oh.
here as an intern. Intern? Was it? Yeah, intern for 2 seasons or something like that. And Duncan is her favorite. So we've heard lots of Duncan stories.
Duncan is a favorite for a lot of us,
Hello.
and Duncan is very old.
He's old?
He's old. Do
How
you want to
old?
guess how old he is? Nice. He pooped too. Thank
20.
you. He is older than 20. So Alejandra that we just had
Yeah.
is 27 years old.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Duncan is 37 years old.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
gosh.
Yes.
He's older than me and Maya.
Yes.
What
And-
is Duncan?
Duncan is a wedge-tailed eagle. So wedge-tailed eagles are from Australia, and he's doing a perfect job of looking straight at the camera for us. You can kind of see on his head he's missing some feathers. It looks like he's missing feathers. Wedge-tailed eagles have more of a bald face than other eagles because in Australia there are no vultures.
Yeah.
So the wedge-tailed eagle fills that role in the ecosystem that a vulture would. So wedge-tailed eagles would be eating carrion and dead things. Obviously, he will still hunt for food. They will eat wallabies, kangaroos, but he does also scavenge for food. Wedge-tailed eagles do a great job of that.
They will hunt kangaroos. Oh my
That's
gosh.
interesting.
Kangaroos.
That's still
but
crazy. I mean,
yes.
small kangaroos are still really big.
Yes.
That's nuts.
So can they is their GI system similar to vultures that they can deal with different
It's not
bacteria?
quite as strong of a stomach acid, but they do still have a strong stomach acid.
Okay.
I was trying to look into that actually before this. It's not the same as a vulture.
Sure.
But it is similar enough that they do a good job in the ecosystem of being able to clean up the dead things. Obviously, that's what they've evolved into.
And how long has Duncan been at World Bird
He was born
Sanctuary?
here.
No way. Oh my gosh.
was
When
the
was World Bird
first-
founded?
1977.
Wow.
Wow.
Alveus is only 4 years old.
I know.
And Duncan had 2 siblings. One has since passed because he's very old. So their lifespan, like 40 years, is a really old wedge-tailed
Right.
eagle. So 37, he's really getting there. There are only 2 wedge-tailed eagles in North America right now.
Wow.
Duncan is one of them. And his siblings are movie stars. So if you've seen the movie The Proposal, the bald eagle that you see flying through is actually a wedge-tailed eagle, one of his siblings. So in movies, you cannot have bald eagles because bald eagles have to be in education films if they're going to be in
Sure.
films. So wedge-tailed eagles are the bird that they use instead, and they'll
Yeah.
CGI to make it look like a bald eagle.
Oh.
And then to break that even more, then the bald eagle is not even going to sound like a bald eagle, it sounds like a red-tailed hawk.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
So it's all fake.
a classic.
When you get into birds and you start watching a lot of movies, you're like, wow, everything's fake.
Dude, it's
Oh,
the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So that's a rouse. That behavior that he just did shows that he is so comfortable
Yeah.
being here.
I love that so much.
That was so cute. Oh my gosh. Can we get
He loves
slow
World's
replay.
Wildest.
No,
Favorite podcast, bud?
No, he's so beautiful. Yeah, he looks kind of like a juvenile bald eagle if you didn't
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
just him sitting on a perch.
Very
And
similar.
I would, size-wise, like weight-wise, what, 8 pounds?
He's a little smaller than Alejandro. Yeah, 8 pounds, around 7 or 8 pounds is around where he would be. Yeah.
Whatever that is in kilograms. You can put it on my hands there. And then wingspan. What is his wingspan?
Ooh, that's a great question. His is going to be a little bit longer or larger than Alejandro's. So in Australia, think about where he's living. He's not in like a dense forest.
Right.
Birds that are in dense forests have shorter wingspans. He's going to be larger wingspan. I'd say like 7
7.
foot.
Wow.
More than me. Definitely more than Maya. That's amazing. Yeah. So what kind of conservation messaging about Alejandro in Australia? Obviously, climate change is a huge issue. Forest fires. What else?
For species like Duncan, the wedge-tailed eagle, a lot of the issue really has to do with perception. So because this is a species that feeds on carrion, there were actually bounties set for wedge-tailed eagles for a while because they were blamed for killing lambs specifically in
sure.
Australia. Now, luckily,
Oh my God.
wedge-tailed
Another
eagles
one.
are doing well in Australia right now. Are you gonna mouse again? Oh my gosh.
He's such a good boy.
They are threatened in Tasmania still, but
Okay.
the wedge-tailed eagles only account for like 1% of lamb die-off, if you will. So like just getting sick naturally is way more than a wedge-tailed eagle, which contribute to that, but there's that negative perception. They are the ones that are blamed for it.
Right.
It seems like being in the conservation world, when we don't want to face the problems that we humans have caused, we like to find an animal to blame it on.
Right.
Wedge-tailed eagles have been one of those animals.
Gotcha.
So they've been poisoned. There were bounties put out for them to get rid of them. So a lot of the similar conservation messaging that a vulture would have, it's just people have that stigma that they are bad and they don't want them around, and they've tried to get rid of them. Now, luckily, like I said, wedge-tailed eagles are doing okay in Australia. Tasmania, they are still threatened, but it is a species we really do need in the environment because he does have such an important role to pick up and clean up all of that dead stuff.
That's for sure.
Leaf.
A leaf just fell on his foot.
Did it touch you?
He also has a great beak and talons. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. In Richmond.
Stuck.
We broke him.
What's Duncan's favorite thing to do here?
That's a great question. I mean, he's another one that really does like to interact with his trainers. I mean, you can see he loves leaves. He likes sticks. He likes talking. We have a lot of really charismatic vocal birds.
He's so cute.
I have a dumb question. Are they called wedge-tailed eagles because of the shape of their tail
Yes.
in the sky? Okay, I've never seen like a silhouette of a wedge-tailed eagle.
Yes. His tail is kind of a wedge shape.
Yeah, got it.
We always make the joke in all of our programming that, ornithologists haven't been the most creative when naming birds. Wedge-tailed
Right.
eagle has a wedge-shaped tail.
Yes.
We've got red-winged blackbirds. It's a blackbird with red wings.
Yes.
Right.
We've got the red-tailed hawk. It's got a
Yeah.
red tail,
Right.
which is great when you're learning birds. You have the descriptions and the names.
Wow.
That's awesome. Man,
Neat.
37 years old.
37, yes.
Beautiful.
And is this a bird that's on your adoptive bird program?
I don't believe that Duncan is.
Okay.
I'll have to look back at the list. I know that we're updating and redoing some stuff. Usually when we have a bird that is older, we don't have it on the adopted bird list because the inevitable thing of working with animals is they don't live forever.
Yeah.
And he is definitely on the older end. So, no,
He's gonna
we
live to
hope that
50.
he lives forever.
Forever.
We would
Yeah.
love for him to be here until he's 50.
He
Absolutely.
looks awesome.
He does.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
So
Well, Duncan,
cool.
thank you so much for hanging out
Duncan, I
with us.
love you.
You did a good job.
Such-
You can see that wedge tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, neat. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really distinct.
Yeah, it's a
very much
perfect
so.
wedge.
So cool. Oh
Amazing.
my gosh. And you've met that bird before?
I've seen him in the weathering yard. I've never.
We had him out
interacted with
for stream last year too.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did.
okay.
Yep.
Cool. When was Lindsay here, guys? Lindsay, animal care staff at Wildest. Do you know?
2015, 16, 17. I don't know.
That's
A
wild.
while
He's
ago.
been here 37 years. Wow.
Yeah,
How
Lin-
long have you been at World Bird?
I will have been here 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years
Cool.
this month actually.
And then before that, you were at the Endangered Wolf Center.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was the
Cool.
director of education over there as well. So
Nice.
I could talk about wolves all day. I could talk about birds all day.
Awesome. Perfect. We should do another episode someday with wolves.
Would be
Absolutely.
Cool.
No, it's how many ambassadors or how many birds do you have here?
We have around 150 birds.
How many
that
staff do you have to
live
take
here.
care of that?
Around 30.
Oh my
That's all of our staff too, so
Right.
that it counts administration.
Right.
So yeah, that's a lot of animals.
Wow.
A lot of animals, a lot of people.
Yes. And most of them are raptors, so most of them are eating meat. So
Yeah.
very high food bill as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that you guys have 30 staff.
Yes.
So animal care wise, how many do you
We
think?
have, let's see, in this department we've got, I'm gonna have to count. We have 5 in the Nature Center, which is our staff that are in charge of our ambassador birds. And then our behind the scenes conservation center, we have 4, I believe. And then we have our public Avian Avenue walkway for guests has 2 staff. We're looking to hire a 3rd up there. And I think that is all of animal care. And then obviously we've got our rehab staff, which is a pretty big staff.
8, right? Mm-hmm.
Around there, yeah. I'd have to count them all too. And then we have those of us that work in the office up here. There's like 5 or 6 of us up here. So
That's amazing. So for rehab, how many birds do you rehabilitate every year?
So this past year we actually hit 774 birds that came in through our rehab hospital, which is more than last year. We keep increasing. We're on track to probably have 1,000 birds through by 2029.
Jeez.
So we're trying to expand and be able to bring in and help all of those birds.
That's crazy. We have our next ambassador.
Oh my gosh.
Shayla's crying.
Oh, she's actually crying.
This one's really special. We were really excited to show you guys.
Yeah, I don't know this.
So she's new. Oh. You would not have seen her last year. Hello. This is Oasis, and I'm repping an Oasis shirt. We have a Bonfire Oasis shirt right now. Oasis is an Egyptian vulture. Yes. And she is a juvenile Egyptian vulture, so she does not have the bright yellow face or the bright white feathers all over her. You can see she's kind of turning colors. When she was like 1 and 2, she had more brown feathers. She's 3 now, so she's starting to turn a little bit. She'll be bright white by the time she's 5 and have a bright orange or yellow face. Looks kind of like a sunny side up egg.
We'll put a picture on screen of what an adult Egyptian vulture looks like, because I know you guys have probably seen them on my stream before, but not one that looks like this.
Yes. So Oasis is pretty, like I said, pretty new. And the reason she is doing education work right now is because for vultures, especially Egyptian vultures, it takes like 5 years or so before they're able to go into breeding programs. She's not ready to do that. And so in the meantime, we're able to have her come out on the glove and do programs like this so that we can teach people about the importance of vultures.
Which is critical. And this species in particular is very important. They're endangered, or their numbers are starting to do better in some areas, but like in Africa, not so good. In Asia, they're doing a little bit better. But
correct. So this is a vulture species that does migrate. So making sure that their habitats where they're migrating is all like safe and good for them is difficult. When you have migrating birds, there's a lot of components that go into it.
For sure.
But vultures especially, like I said with Duncan, are persecuted for people don't like them or they think that they're dirty because they're digging around in dead stuff, but they do such important work. And we actually started the Egyptian vulture breeding program in the United States, which is really exciting. And Oasis is actually one of 9 offspring we have had now from that program. So we're looking to expand partners to help us with Egyptian vulture breeding. We do work with the San Diego Zoo and Safari Park. Osiris, one of our Egyptian vultures, is out there right now, and Oasis is one of his offspring. So we're excited to continue to grow this program. We did also send Egyptian vultures to Volpro in Africa to start a breeding pair there. Amazing. And then of course with the ultimate goal to get them back out into the wild.
That's amazing. So could you tell us about the vulture crisis? Because we're here for International Vulture Awareness Day, which we're recording this on today's Thursday? Is today's Thursday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
And it's Saturday, Saturday's IVAD. So by the time this episode's coming out, it'll be past that. But please tell us about the vulture crisis, because it's crazy important.
Absolutely. So I don't want to get too sad, but if you look into it, it's heartbreaking. So vultures, especially in Africa and around the world, really, all vultures except for the ones we have right here. The turkey vultures and black vultures are doing pretty well. Pretty much every other vulture species is in decline. And what's happening is they are persecuted. When people are going out and poaching, whether they're going to get elephants for the ivory tusks or they're just getting bush meat, a lot of times they'll take the parts that they want of the animal and then leave the carcass. The problem is when you're poaching, you don't want to get caught. And the thing that gives you away is when you look up in the sky and you see vultures circling because they see the dead thing they want to clean up. They're doing their job in the ecosystem. They're wanting to make sure that the environment stays clean. So actually this past May, there were 2 different mass poisoning events in Africa that killed over 100 vultures. From one poisoned carcass. So people will poison that, the vultures will come down and feed on it, and even though rescuers arrived within, I want to say, like an hour, there were already over 100 dead vultures there. Now what's really scary about that is if we lose vultures, there's a lot that we are going to have to do to make up for that. We're going to have to really invest in human health to make sure that disease don't run rampant. In India, they had a big vulture crisis. It has rebounded a little bit since then, but they lost about 95% of their vultures.
That was from diclofenac,
From
right?
diclofenac, yes, which is an antibiotic that is used in, or everybody pooped today on, on this.
Anti-inflammatory, right?
I believe so.
NSAID? Yeah.
Yes.
It was NSAID.
And when the vultures would eat livestock that had passed, they cannot digest the diclofenac, so it was poisoning them too.
Liver and kidney failure, it happened
Horrible.
pretty fast too. It doesn't take much.
It does not. And without vultures, other animals are going to kind of take that role of the scavenger. Now, if you're in a really populated city, a lot of times that's going to be a feral dog. Feral dogs do not take disease out of the population, they spread it. So with that, in India, almost 50,000 people died from rabies because the vultures disappeared. So, and that's just one small snapshot.
Yeah.
If we have vultures go extinct worldwide, we're looking at a huge human health crisis. So very, very important to have these birds out in the wild, which is partly why we are focused so much on vulture conservation. This is a critical species. All of the vulture species are critical. They do such important work. Their stomach acids are like battery acid, so they kill all of the bacteria from what they eat. And I just learned this. Not only do they kill all that bacteria, but the things that they can't kill, that's really scary bacteria, actually goes in their digestive system to help break down more things when they eat it later. So they're still retaining all of that like gross disease-ridden everything, and it just stays in their digestive system and helps them to remove even more in their next meal.
I didn't know that.
It's incredible.
That's wild.
I looked at some research studies about the young, the chicks. They're getting fed, they're getting regurgitated and like fed this stuff. So they will actually start having that nasty bacteria in their gut as well, and form a symbiotic relationship with that, but also helps release antibodies and build up the immunity while they're young. So they're looking at how, people always use, how can we take vultures, their immune system, and adapt it and like get some of that for ours, for like vaccines.
Absolutely.
Or for pills. How can
incredible.
we utilize that to help people, which is crazy that they also do that. But the other thing that's I like to talk to people about is how much money they save us.
Yes.
Because if we had to do the same job as vultures, have a cleanup crew, go through and pick up roadkill, it would cost taxpayers hundreds of millions in the US, if not billions, depending on how bad it is. In India, they've lost over $1 billion for sure since this vulture crisis, just in tax dollars.
Absolutely.
So if we want to save money and work on our deficit, we need vultures around.
We do, and they do this naturally. We don't have to like teach
Right.
them to do it. It's just something they do in nature. And speaking to the conservation element, so many vulture species may only have 1 or 2 offspring every year or every other year. So thinking about the mass poisonings in Africa that have happened recently with poaching, those 100+ vultures that died, it's going to take years to replace those vultures, which makes it a little scary.
Right.
But it also makes it really exciting for us to be able to help these guys get back out into the wild, and organizations like us that are helping to breed these guys to put them back out where they belong, because we need them in the wild.
Man, he's so beautiful.
So tell us about your merch.
Yes.
So we, Safeguarding Species is our conservation program.
Yes.
So we've launched this on Bonfire. You can order it and it just gets delivered straight to you. We don't have any of the merch like here on stock in our gift shop. But this is one of our big pushes, the Egyptian vulture right now.
Yeah.
So we've made Oasis the star of it. What's really exciting about this is a keeper drew this.
Yeah.
And
Really?
designed it. Yes.
It's so good.
So
Shout out the
Casey,
keeper.
Casey,
Casey?
one of our
Okay.
keepers at Lower Site, she's worked with Oasis quite a bit. She was one of her primary trainers when we first got her. She drew the photo or the picture of Oasis, and then we put it on a shirt. So the money we raise from this will go towards our vulture conservation efforts.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So enrichment. They're a special bird when it comes to enrichment. What
Yes.
can they do that other birds can't?
What's really incredible specifically about Egyptian vultures is they are known to use tools. So usually when you think of a bird that uses tools,
Oh my God.
you're showing off.
So cute.
Most birds that are going to use tools are going to be corvids, crows, ravens, things like that. But Egyptian vultures like to eat eggs, and they're going to work smarter, not harder. So if they have a giant ostrich egg, if you will, looking at her beak might not be quite strong enough to pierce that herself.
Really long face.
But what she could do is find a big rock and drop that on the egg to crack it open to eat the egg yolk.
Smart.
Are there other vulture species that'll do that?
I don't think so. This is the species that has really been known for using tools and doing things like that. Most other vulture species will not do stuff like that.
So what are some other cool things about these guys?
Their intelligence. When you're looking at a vulture, a lot of people just don't quite understand what vultures are, what's going on in their brain. They're very, very smart birds. We have a hard time, I think a lot of times you're scared of things you don't know about. And vultures are around dead things that we don't want to be, touching and being around. So we've kind of distanced ourselves from them, I think. But vultures are so intelligent. We do a lot of training with ours behind the scenes. And you'll see today Kendall's been giving her pieces for rewarding this like calm behavior, making sure she's staying nice and comfortable.
She's doing great.
Yeah. Kind of like, parrots need a lot of mental stimulation, vultures need a lot of mental stimulation too. So we do lots of enrichment with them.
So they also have some smaller communities out in Asia, they have a really cool, I don't want to say this because like World's Wildest, it's really cool. It is a little gnarly, just fair warning. They have a cultural significance with these guys and do sky burials.
Yes.
It's not just Egyptian vultures, it's all vultures. So instead of being buried, because I was thinking like the topsoil and between the grass and topsoil is like 3 inches from rock. So they can't really bury people. Right. So they will feed them to the vultures in a very special way that I'm not going to talk about too much, but like they'll even put them on platforms, right?
Absolutely. And not to super get graphic or anything, but if you lose vultures and you're doing sky burials, that is a problem too.
Yeah.
If other things are going to eat, from the sky burial, because you want the vultures clean it up. They don't, spread anything around. But if other things are having to fill that role for sky burials, that's a human health issue as well.
I know there's some morbid people out there, my wife included, that love to like look at this kind of stuff. There's videos, like go look on Reddit. It's gnarly, it's cool, but it's definitely a different way of doing things. And the vultures it's like returning like the energy in the body back to nature. And they clean they can clean a cow carcass fast.
Very fast.
There's some time-lapse videos on YouTube. I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. You'll have hundreds of vultures come down and just take everything to the bone.
Yes.
And nothing left.
I really love that concept too of the sky burial, actually, because thinking about someday when we bury our dead in the ground usually, and we are so full of toxins and horrible things that go back into the environment, for a bird like this that can literally just clean that up, and then there is not that big negative impact for burials, is incredible.
Can you tell us about the shape of her beak, and does that help with that?
Absolutely. So if you look at her beak, all raptors are going to have kind of a curved beak.
Yeah.
And so since she's eating things that are already dead, that's really like helping her tear into the food that she's getting into. We always joke that our birds have their knife and fork with them at all times. So they can, go in and clean out every little piece, like you were saying, from a cow or whatever that might have died. That beak shape really helps them to get into the crevices, to pull out all of the meat, to clean everything.
Amazing. It's fine if you don't know this number, but do you have any idea how many individuals are?
I don't.
That's fine.
Do you know, Kendall?
Oh, off the top of my head.
Yeah. I would have to look it up. I'm not sure.
For a lot of vultures, it can be hard to estimate,
Right.
especially ones that live in pretty remote areas. So, for example, like lammergeiers or...
Yeah, it can be very hard to estimate, especially to a bird that migrates, because getting an accurate count can be difficult.
One of the cool things that, when I was at the American Eagle Foundation, that we did fundraisers with Maya, was to help fund vulture restaurants over in Asia.
So cool.
So money, it was like $2,000, ran the whole facility for the whole year. And money just goes a lot further there, which is huge. So over there, cows have a cultural significance, a religious significance, that they are they're the family members, and they don't want to eat these cows. So they use cows to help work the fields, and when they're done with them, they'll generally just keep giving them diclofenac to help them work longer and harder until eventually they die, and then the vultures come in, eat it, and die. But what the vulture restaurants do is say, hey, instead of giving your old cows diclofenac and keeping them working, let's give them a nice retirement. Bring them here, we'll feed them, we'll take care of them, we'll honor them. And then when they die naturally, then the vultures will come down, and then they're starting to do a lot more vulture counts when they come down, so they can get population numbers in the area. And the community is appreciating vultures a little bit more. The ones that we helped, like, were able to give back, and they some of the money that we raised helped fund a veterinarian to go to school. Came back to the community, does all the free work for the vulture restaurant, but then that's not enough work. So then goes out and takes care of the community's animals.
That's incredible.
And so the community's like, wow, the vulture restaurant did this for us. Vultures are important. It can be an economic booster to us as well, especially with vulture tourism. I could go on this for a while. I was looking at,
Yes.
I read, I didn't read all of it. I read 20 of a 150-page study about the economics of vultures, not only just in their servicing and like cleanup, but for people wanting to do ecotourism out in Africa. And they have an assigned value to them. So Kayla and I went on a spiral, like, all right, how do we protect vultures? Get people to love them and fall in love with them, and go do ecotourism specifically for vultures.
Absolutely.
Go out to Africa, Asia, just to see these guys. Kayla, the reason she's crying is she used to work with these guys in Nepal, two Egyptian vultures named Kevin and Bob. They free fly with paragliders. And that was a huge way to bring in money for the community and for vulture conservation to do this kind of ecotourism. So if the viewers are interested in stuff like that, please look it up. That could be a huge boost for vulture populations.
Absolutely. Ecotourism really is something that I don't think we talk about enough in conservation. When you're doing ecotourism in an ethical way and making sure that the animals in those places are protected, it can do so much for conservation. I was fortunate enough to visit Costa Rica. I've been there a couple times now. Their entire economy is based on ecotourism. So they are preserving all of those species, those endemic species, hundreds of species that are only found there in Costa Rica, and they love them because it brings in so much for the community.
More than exploitation,
Yes.
too.
Right.
Yes.
Which is huge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ending on a positive note, I love it.
Yes.
Ecotourism.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so things that our viewers can do to help support vultures. 1, check out this merch, so cute. 2, come here and meet these birds and get to know them. And you've already done a little bit by learning about them on this podcast. What else?
We also have Adopt-A-Birds that are vultures. I
Yes.
believe Oasis is going to be one of them that will be up when we
Amazing.
redo it. But yeah, learning about them and really help us fight the stigma. Vultures always get a bad rep. They're the ones that everybody wants to be the scapegoat. There's a lot of agriculture conflicts that people have, I don't want to say made up, but vultures are not the problem.
Right.
Right.
And with any wildlife, there are ways we can coexist. So helping us when you see people that are being like, oh, that bird is ugly and it's killing cattle or killing lambs, like help us tell them, no, it's not. Like, show me the facts.
Yeah.
Right.
When you can show me the facts, then we can have a conversation about that. But I have yet to see vultures really doing any kind of significant harm in agriculture at all.
They
Right.
help.
And that is a huge, they help. They're going to keep us healthier.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
removing the disease.
Yeah.
So being aware of that and helping us to fight that stigma would be huge. We've been posting a lot of TikToks this summer, Hot Vulture Summer, is what our
Nice.
girls have been
Love
calling
Love
it.
it.
So we've been trying to really help bring more of a positive light to them and showing off some of their amazing personalities
Who
too.
doesn't love this? That's
Awesome.
amazing. No,
All
thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you so much for bringing out these birds. Thank you for telling us all about them.
Absolutely.
Guys, we hope that you really, really enjoyed this episode. We're going to
Yeah.
go film a little bit of bonus content on Patreon now, so check us out there if you haven't already. And then make sure, especially in this episode, to check out the links in the description to go support World Bird Sanctuary. Thank you guys again.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you for having us.
Right. See you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.